The Avengers, also known in some areas apparently as Avengers Assembled. The finale to the journey of Phase 1, which I know nothing about. Actually, I do have a prediction. Here's my prediction before I get started. Since Loki survived in Thor, my prediction is that Loki is the main villain. Now what he does, I don't know, but I know that it's going to have all the main guys so far attached, because it's the Avengers movie. So with that being said, let's get started.
Clear out the tech below. Every piece of phase 2 on a truck and gone.
Yes, sir. Me.
I hope she stays in more movies just because she's Kobe Smulders.
Doors open from both sides.
Also, I didn't notice this before, but that's Jeremy Renner from The Bourne Legacy. And Kobe Smulders from How I Met Your Mother. Anybody else getting the Mist vibes from this? Fucking low-key. I was fucking right.
Please put down the spear.
And now it's gonna get so massive with probably an army he's built that it's gonna need all of them. Here's what's interesting about this. When Thor came back, he was on the human side, basically. This time, it's a god, but he's not. He has to have an army at his backing, though, because otherwise you wouldn't need more than Thor to take care of him.
Who's that?
Oh, she's not under mind control. But she's going to go along with it because everybody else is there, which makes sense. Or not. I just thought of something. Is Scarlett Johansson still in this, or did she get recast to Kobe Smulders? Is it just me, or do their really deep blue eyes make anybody else, for some reason, uncomfortable? My girl, though, you got some f***ing balls to be doing that shit. Level 7 would mean a lot more to me if I knew what the f*** it meant. Yes! They didn't recast her. And movie, I'm not stupid. I realize that she's not in trouble. This is on purpose, and that she's gonna beat their asses. Everybody f***ing does. Who the f*** wouldn't? And every guy wishes you were into that type of shit too, if you're not. And now she's gonna kick some ass. Ooh! That toe hit. I know who that is, just because I know what Mark Ruffalo looks like. Fun fact. Back when this movie first came out, I was told to watch it by some people, but I rejected the notion. Why? Because I actually watched The Incredible Hulk at this point, and it pissed me off at the time that they recast Edward Norton to Mark Ruffalo. So I said, F*** that movie, you know. Like, if they didn't recast Edward Norton, then I would have watched this movie when it first came out. Do I have that problem with the movie still? No, otherwise I wouldn't be watching it now. Persuade me. One praise I want to give this movie real quick, because I like to give movies praise when they're due. Not gonna lie, I knew that they were gonna all be in this movie, but I assumed they would gather them up just for their macho-ness or whatever, to use, you know, fists to fight the bad guys. I assumed it was gonna be that type of shit. But one angle that I didn't consider is that these guys all have their own specialities, to be British about it. And didn't consider the fact that they might actually use some of these guys for their own niches, like the gamma and scientific shit for Mr. Bruce Banner here, / Mark Ruffalo, not Edward Norton. I'm not still upset about that, by the way. Yeah, I didn't consider that. So the fact that these guys did and that's what they're going to do, I suppose this is a praise for my lack of imagination. Well, your sentiment. And recon and intelligence. But nobody cares about those. That is a slick way to de-suit. Thing about Tony Stark for me, he's a one-sided asshole who happens to be funny from time to time. Aircraft carrier. Never been on one, but I imagine it would be fun as hell for the first hour and then boring as after that. There's actually a certain name for this type of event. I think it's like a white collar event or something like that. I could be wrong. Or is it a white tie event? It's like super formal, you dress super formal. And by the way, is it just me or does anybody else love classical music like violins and pianos and all that shit? Oh, and the action is too... Oh my god, I love this. Ooh, motherfucker. Motherfuckers on wheels, man. Although I find it bullshit that no blood is splattering on you.
Let him be an example.
Hahaha, motherfucker. Gotta say though, I thought it was gonna take Thor to beat him. All it took was Captain America. Also, future note, if the volume is ever muted in the future in this movie or any other movie, know that it's because copyrighted music is playing during that time. My assumption is they're going to explain later how the Thor got back. Because these movies love to do that.
I have a plan.
Attack. By the way, I didn't know he was going to say that, but like, it just felt like a good one-liner, especially for him. Loki's an asshole, but everything he's saying is logical right now. For the most part. I mean, even the thing about humanity, I mean, let's face it, as humans, we're f***ing assholes. We are. Humanity is a bunch of evil assholes, straight up. Like, look at our whole f***ing history. I mean, we enjoy freedom, but like, he's got a f***ing point. I mean, granted, he's still an asshole, and he would still be a piece of shit. He's no, like... All of his logic makes sense to me, but he's no better than them. So the one, basically his logic makes sense, but him pontificating it is the calling the kettle black, whatever that metaphor is. The calling the kettle black.
Listen well, brother.
I'm listening.
He's just chilling up there, enjoying the show.
How about that?
Oh. This is fun. This fight's just dudes throwing each other around, and it's like... Can his shield come back to him or not? Or is it like a... Or is it like a boomerang? Is it like a boomerang where like if he throws it, then it comes back to him, but like if it hits the ground, then he has to pick up on his own? Is that how it works? Please, for the love of The Dark Knight did this thing, I think in 2008, where he got caught on purpose and then got freed. It was his whole plan. In 2012, well, this is also 2012, but in 2012, 007 movie, Skyfall, repeated that same thing, where the main villain wants to get put in prison. It's actually a similar thing, where it was glass and everything, and then he breaks out because it was all part of his plan. For the love of the Avengers, this movie, please don't do that. I feel like it's going to be happening. Okay? Please, for the love of don't make that mistake. Don't copy off it. Like, I don't like it, whether it's video games or movies or whatever. I don't like it when one game does something and it's popular, so like every game for the next or movie for the next 10 years repeats it. Like, it was special the first time and never again. Actually, even with The Dark Knight, it was special. It was stupid then, but I don't know, Skyfall liked it. I hope they don't do that here. I'm gonna pause it again. I know I pause it a lot, but I don't know. I feel like I'm... Like, one thing I love about Tony Stark, because I kind of criticized him earlier, one thing you gotta admire about the man is that every time he walks into a scene, he f***ing steals it and f***ing dominates it for as long as he's in it. That's one thing you gotta admire about this motherfucker, if nothing else.
When did you become an expert in thermonuclear astrophysics?
Yesterday, or last night. I did know about that line beforehand. I don't get it. You know, I do appreciate the fact that they actually, they started that little minor joke and then they finished at the end of the scene. I assume I assume that's something Marvel movies do often. So you're saying that not in this movie, but probably by the Avengers 2, he's going to be able to control his Hulk. Gotcha.
So, Banner.
Fucking smart fucking bitch.
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off. What are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy.
And what about you, dickhead? You got your bullshit from a serum that wasn't even given, that was handed to you. At least he worked for what he got. Pussy.
Like you? Everything special about you came out of a bottle.
There we go. Whew. Dude, that scared the shit out of me. Motherfucker. They did it. They repeated Dark Knight and Skyfall. I'm gonna say straight up right now, that's a massive negative for me for this movie. Oh, what did this turn into a horror movie now? Motherfucker. Well, maybe not dead, but at least broke. If she doesn't have at least have broken ribs, I call bullshit. Where the hell is that thing? Oh. Ooh. I was told that Hawkeye never misses, so I guess that was kind of bullshit.
The humans think us immortal. Should we test that?
Move away, please.
Just do it. Fuck that move away shit. Fucking do it. He got impaled. Side note here. Don't you just love the movie ratings? You can have a guy get impaled and it's PG-13. But if you have a guy say, I'm not going to bleep this. If you have a guy say, fuck, it's R. How does that make any fucking sense? So is it going to be a final battle as a spectacle in New York City? Because not going to lie, it actually sounds pretty cool.
Please tell me you're going to appeal to my humanity.
What humanity?
We can't protect the Earth. You can be damn well sure it won't avenge it.
One thing I gotta say though, I just can't get out of my head how good that alcohol must be, how smooth it must be. Ooh, this is gonna be a badass suit up. Nothing but taxis in New York, that's realistic. With a giant turtle coming out of it. Or whatever the f that is.
You can hold him off? Captain? It'd be my genuine pleasure.
Oh. I assume the police are doing their part in all this. Yep, they are doing their thing. Good. Honestly, it would make it more realistic, though. This isn't a negative towards the movie, but it would make it more realistic if the governor did call in the National Guard. Dude, these two are bosses. Fucking Mark Ruffalo.
I'm always angry.
Well.
And Hulk. Smash.
Holy shit. How many of those f***ing things are there? Wait a goddamn minute. If you guys can communicate without earpieces, then why not just have Tony go up there? Okay, does this shit have a time limit or some shit, the mind control? Or is this whenever the... Oh my god, they call the National Guard! You know what, dude? Movie. Good on you. I didn't think they were gonna do it. He is a god to be... Oh! That smug look on his face, too. He's like, bitch, please. Looks like he will be. Here's the thing I gotta say though. I understand that was probably meant to be funny to like a 13-year-old, but in all honesty, to me that just makes Loki look like a bitch, and his army's still intimidating, but that's all he's got going for him now because of that scene. So it was probably meant to be funny, but to me it just defeats a lot of the impact, in all honesty. Oh, so he can do the... What? That scene where he couldn't pick up the hammer better have some kind of future implication, because right now it doesn't seem to have amounted to shit. What about your f***ed up decision now, Council? Oh! So you're gonna hit him with your f***ing hammer? Let me f***ing guess. That's gonna be the after credit scene, isn't it? So it did end up being that. Well, that was a fun ride. There was a lot of exciting stuff in there. Getting to see everybody, you know, getting together for the first time. Kobe Smulders was a nice touch too. Unfortunately, I did have 2 major problems and 1 minor major problem, but I'll talk about that in the discussion with Muji. But for the time being, and also know that these gradings can change, per the discussions. But as of right now, this movie's grading is going to be a C+. That being said, next video will be the discussion about Phase 1, where I might regrade some movies, and where I will be giving Phase 1 as a whole a grading. After that will be the start of Phase 2 with Iron Man 3. Until then, if you like all the other stuff, and see you next time, hopefully.